just fail. A lot of people get analysis paralysis.
There's no such thing as a perfect video. Like, someone should always call you and it on your video because it could be better.
When I was a young teenager, I was getting no views, had no money, had no equipment.
Imagine spending 10 years of your life only thinking about one thing every waking hour of the day.
You could upload one great video a year and get more views than if you uploaded 100 mediocre videos.
I put together the best MrBeast advice on YouTube. I know it's helped me, so it has the potential to help others in their lives or careers. I also design merch and thumbnails. You can check out my store or email me about work. Thank you for your time.
I just watch it, honestly, and I just like, if there's ever a moment where I'm even slightly bored, I'm like, cut it. And if there's something where I'm not just like, wow, you know, like the whole time, then it's like, don't upload it. It's not good.
If I'm not creating, then I don't feel fulfilled. I don't feel like I'm progressing. Then I feel like I'm wasting my time. My well of knowledge needs to constantly be expanding so I have more things to draw inspiration from our ideas. If not, you're gonna get the same ideas over and over again. So it happens for a lot of creators. That's why their videos are repetitive and always the same thing, because if you're not constantly learning new things, then your ideas are just limited to what's in your head, and eventually you're gonna drain it. It's a lot of testing. So we usually edit a video like, 5 or 7 times.
What would you say to creators that are getting started? I mean, do you think that it's still possible to start a channel on YouTube in 2020 and be successful, or is it...
It's funny you saying that to me because I know you know the answer to it. Yes, it's obviously, it is. And the thing is, though, with the videos I was making when I was a smaller creator, I genuinely felt like, the algorithm hates me or this is unfair. But I just wasn't making content that deserved to get views. I don't know a nice way to put it. So I'm glad I'm talking about myself, because anyone else I'd feel bad. But the videos sucked. Like, I mean, you just look at the retention graphs. People would click off at the beginning. People didn't know sometimes what they're clicking on. And like, if I wasn't retaining a viewer, just why would it make sense for you to promote it? Like, why would you promote a 10-minute video that people watch on average a minute and a half? It just doesn't make sense.
Actually, as an answer to what is the best advice someone ever gave you, you said, you're crazy until you're successful, then you're a genius.
100%. All along the way, people gave me so much advice on why I shouldn't be doing it, why I'm crazy. Yeah. Every step of the way, people wanted to tell me why I shouldn't be doing this and should get a life, should stop being too obsessed, everything under the book. And then once I'm successful, those same people are like, dang, you're a genius. Yeah. Wow, you really pulled that off. But if I don't have what I have in my head, then I would say just fail. Like, just a lot of people get analysis paralysis and they'll just sit there and they'll plan their first video for 3 months. And yeah. I'm any of you listening, if you, especially if you have 0 videos on your channel, your first video is not going to get views. Period. It's not. Your first 10 are not going to get views. I can very confidently say that. So stop sitting there and thinking for months and months on end, and just get to work and start uploading. Like, all you need to do, this applies to people who have not uploaded videos but have dreams of being a YouTuber, is make 100 videos and improve something every time. Do that. And then on your 101st video, we'll start talking like maybe you can get some views, but your first 100 are going to suck.
Almost every podcast I feel like you've been on, or every time you talk about YouTube, you always talk about how you reinvest everything back into the channel.
Literally everything.
And I think spending time with you here, what I noticed is that's actually not just money, it's time. Yeah. You also reinvest all of your time.
You gotta live and breathe it.
Yeah, you invest all of your time into it. And I think that's something that is beneficial of being where you are, is that you have that ability. And then also, the concept of hiring is just so that you have more time to invest.
Exactly.
I think I just had the blessing of finding what I loved at a young age. So like, because to get to this level, it takes, a decade. Most people don't find what they love till their young 20s. So they'd be where I'm at in their 30s. Yeah. I just lucked out and found it when I was really young. I mean, people can make excuses all they want and say it's just luck, or say, it is a teachable skill. It's a learnable skill. You can study your way to consistently make viral videos, no matter how small your channel is, even if you have 0 subscribers.
Man, you're about to make me just start a college class here on this video. So essentially, yes, at the end of the day, if you boil it down, what YouTube wants is they want people to click on a video and they want to watch it. Like, at its core, that's what it is. Now, you can like draw little lines and go as deep as you want into how to get people to click and to how to get people to watch. I mean, essentially, by studying the algorithm, you'll learn that you're more studying human psychology, right? What do humans want to watch? What do they find enjoying? Not because anytime you say the word algorithm, just replace it with audience, and it works perfectly. Like, the algorithm didn't like that video. No, the audience didn't like that video. Now, because literally that's it. If people are clicking and watching, then it gets promoted more, and that's all. That's literally all the algorithm does, is reflect what the people want to a T. And if you deny that, you just make terrible videos and are trying to find a scapegoat. Like, I mean, there's a reason everyone loves YouTube and, spends hours every single day on it.
The biggest thing is, it's much easier, as weird as this sounds, it's much easier to get 5 million views on one video than
100,000 views on 50 videos. Does that make sense a little bit? Like a lot of people, like you could upload one great video a year and get more views than if you uploaded 100 mediocre videos. It's like, it's very exponential. Like
I just like to make the greatest YouTube videos possible. And that's literally all I want. So yeah, I mean, if it's not the greatest video, I just won't upload it. And so after you scrap a few videos, we kind of, everyone, you know, just kind of starts to figure it out. So like I was telling him, the way I like to work is like, I like to go basically wake up, obsess over something, go to bed, wake up, obsess, go to bed, like every second of the day until I just have a mental breakdown and burn out. And then I like take a day off or maybe a day and a half off. And I like to go right back to it. So I don't like work certain days. I just go as hard as I can, every ounce of my entire body until I just crash. And somehow that's sustainable.
What time do you sleep?
Right now, usually around 3 a.m.
Virality is not accidental. Or sometimes it can be, of course, but
It's just not.
it can be engineered.
It's so many people say it's luck and they're like, you're just lucky or this or that. But what are we up to? Probably like 1,000 videos over 10 million views. Like we don't ever have a dud. Like you can call it luck, but I think it can be trained.
Is collaborative amplification. Like you're so good at that, right? Just bro, on your walks, you do your hour walk a night, you go, I'll just scroll through my contacts and call someone, see how they're doing, pick their brain a little bit. Like
Exactly.
so much to be learned.
Yep.
And you're so good at that.
And the thing is, like, that's what's sad is because so many like small YouTubers, they see it as like, oh, I don't like. I see this all the time. Like a guy with 1 million subscribers will learn something new and they'll be like, oh, I don't want to teach my friends. Like they'll compete with me. It's like, you dumbass motherfucker. You've pulled less views in the last 3 years than like I know people have on a single video. Like you teaching him isn't going to do anything. And so like they're so like caught up in like not sharing things and being secretive.
But also a lot of creators also just don't, you know, which I didn't either for the longest time, just don't make good enough content, you know, content that's worthy of getting 10 million views.
In the idea or the execution of the idea?
Both. I mean, like think about how many people just make videos, they film them in under 20 minutes and they don't really put any effort into it. And my first 500 videos didn't deserve to get 1 million views. Like there's a reason they didn't. They're terrible, you know what I mean? But at the time I thought they did, right? And I'm in the mindset of a lot of small YouTubers where I thought those videos deserved 1 million views and I thought the algorithm hated me. But I watch them back now and I can tell you exactly why. The videos are just fucking horrible. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like the thing people undervalue the most is literally the first 10 seconds of the video. Like I think I can quote it. I tied up an FBI agent and I have $100,000 in this bag. Here's a knife. Good luck. And I just run away. Like it gives you everything you need. No wasted words, short and concise, and then tension.
To do well on YouTube, you just need people to click your videos and watch them. That's literally all YouTube wants. And so if you get people to click your video 10% more and watch your video 10% longer than mine, you don't get 10% more views. You get like 4 times the views, right? So you have to think like an exponential, right? Like a 10% better video is 4 times the views, not 10% more views.
Right.
And so like once you understand that and you like funnel your energy better, it makes a big difference. So it's usually like just like don't make your video shit. Put in effort, you know, like put in way more effort, like really hyper obsess over these videos, like triple the amount of time you're putting into that video. Because you're not going to get triple the views, you're going to get 10x the views. And like,
how much time do you spend on those openings?
I'm a perfectionist. It's so important. Like that's your first impression for everyone clicking on the video. So like I like the whole time leading up to that, I'm just constantly obsessed with mostly the first minute, just like making sure like if I were to click on this video, I would like the first minute and that it would hook me. You know what I mean?
And when I first started, I got 100,000 subscribers with an iPhone. And this is an iPhone 5 that recorded in 30 FPS, terrible quality. So as you guys know, like equipment's never an excuse because like people were constantly roasting me for the quality when I first blew up. I was like, I don't have money, I don't know what to do. But then, you know, I just reinvested every dollar I made, and over like the last, 8 years, just slowly grew into whatever I do now.
Well, so what was the breakthrough for you to start realizing, to start having a self-awareness, about these videos aren't good enough? You're probably still going through that. You're probably still growing to see.
Every 6 months, you should look back and hate your videos, or at least see things you could improve and be like, oh, I could have done this better, that better. If not, then you're not learning quick enough, in my opinion, at least.
But so when you're doing these videos and do you ever have one that you do it and it just doesn't live up to what your expectations were?
All the time. Now I know you're about to ask me, so let me think of some. Yeah, probably like back in the day, like 1 out of every 4 videos we filmed just never got uploaded because they were just not
Really?
good. Yeah, because especially when I was like 19 and 20, like I had no idea, right? You know, like I'd come up with an idea, let's climb a building with plungers, right?
Right.
And then, you know, you can't do it, all right? So
Right.
that's an example of one that failed.
So like imagine one where you have like 3 friends, and like when friend number 1 learns something, he teaches the other 2, and friend number 3 fucks up on a video and he teaches you guys, and you're all coming up together.
Yep.
Whereas if you're separate, you have to fuck up every single time. You know, so like if you each make 100 fuck ups, you could be like 300 fuck ups deep and learning.
Yep.
But if you're separate, you're only 100 deep.
It's just like if you wake up and every day you obsess over something and you live and breathe it, and that's what you think about, that's what you do, that's what you study on and off, that's what you stay up every night grinding, and no one else even gives a flying about it. It's like you just feel like a weirdo, you know, like an outcast. And I was also like just dumb. Back then I didn't realize, oh, well, I just need to find different people. I thought like, oh, my whole life I'll just never enjoy talking to people.
Yeah.
And then I met other YouTubers, and then I started talking to them like 10 hours a day. And I was like, then that's when the channel really started taking off.
How often are you asking for help? Because I realize
Every
this,
day.
when you open the door to me for like hey, let's just like bounce things off. I definitely like took advantage of that, which I want. Like I don't
Exactly.
I don't
Rule
ask
number
for
1
help.
is you got to give more, or give at least what you take. And if you do that, people will always teach you stuff.
Say that one more time.
You got to give at least what you take from someone. Which in the YouTube space is pretty easy for me because I can just teach people anything, and then I just hope to learn one thing from them.
So after just grinding year after year, there's probably some blur between when I was 17, 18, 19, somewhere in there. It just started to get a little bit of views. You know what I mean?
So are you're just constantly asking questions
All the time.
Really?
That's the only way you can ever stay on top, is if you're constantly learning. If you're always learning, reinvesting every dollar, and basically working 10, 12 hours a day, like I just don't see a world where someone can compete with you.